Možný, že tady člověk může zabít některý lidi, aniž by chtěl. To bych nechtěl. Já se vždycky snažím hrát tak, abych zabíjel co nejméně lidí, kteří nemusí umírat.
Normally, the crew gets to the labs using a tram from Central Station. We've got an elevator that connects directly, but it's for emergency use only.
You're certain the matriarch is still in the hot labs?
She hasn't come back here. You came through Central Station, so she ain't there.
How are your people?
We weren't expecting the initial wave. They made it inside. We lost some good people. Those of us left are short-handed. We've kept order by long shifts and stems. I don't like it, but I don't see an alternative.
I've got work to do.
You and me both.
I'd kill for a P-204. Just hold down the trigger and zap. Hallway full of flash-boiled bugs.
To trošku cuká ta kamera zas.
They come from? Were they in the lab? I never went in the high security areas.
What?
You're a member of the science teams?
Recently transferred, yes.
What do you do here?
Molecular genetics. I specialize in biotic-enhanced allele-specific hybridization.
That's a bit technical for me.
I am very good at tracking inherited variations in genetic sequences. I'm sure you would find it quite dull.
You seem less upset at this situation than the others.
That is one of the virtues of the meditation you interrupted.
Tell me about
yourself.
I am Alessia Alice from the University of Arrayas. Is there anything in particular you want to know, or should I just spout random facts?
Did I interrupt something?
I was meditating. I suppose to a species as brash as yours, it would appear to be inattention.
Do you know Matriarch Benezia?
Why ask me, and not your friend?
Because I do not know anything about the matriarch.
Then why would I?
Ale 100% asárijský komando a ví moc dobře,
Then I will return to my meditation.
kdo je tady Liara.
Uncertain. I welcome you. Cautiously, I am curious to know what you're doing here.
I heard there were
Jsem
some
ti
problems.
pomoct samozřejmě, člověče.
Furtively,
To tady jsem.
I am concerned about the state
Commander
of our
Shepard.
guards. Many have been awake
Commander
for days.
Shepard.
For now, with forced cheer, I still have a limited supply of equipment to sell.
Otevři si obchůdek pod palbou tady. Výborně.
Most of my stock has been appropriated by Captain Ventralis.
Nic, co bych jako vyloženě chtěl, nebo potřeboval. Tak spoustu věcí, který člověk může pokazit.
I didn't mean to bother you.
Bohužel je to strašně dávno, co jsem tohle hrál, takže si to moc nepamatuju.
What happened to these people?
They're suffering from a toxin. There was an accident. I have a non-disclosure agreement. I shouldn't discuss it with anyone outside of the company.
But you're going to, because I might be able to help.
And I'd like to think that the company finds our lives more valuable than their secrets. You know Mira, the VI for Peak 15? She handles the safety protocols for our experiments here.
We reactivated her on our way through Central Station.
That was you? I'm grateful. Until she came online, the automatic equipment wouldn't work. We lost the connection to Mira in the middle of an experiment and the quarantine failed. These three were exposed to a toxin, something we were working on.
I understand your caution, but I need details. What you say won't go beyond these walls.
It's a bioweapon, based on an exotic life form discovered on the frontier. They wanted something that could kill the creature. But there was no profit in something that kills one species on the frontier. We kept working on it and adapted it to affect more species. Thoros B is highly infectious, but can't pass from one person to another, like a biowar attack without a pandemic spread.
Do you imagine that distinction makes this ethical?
Militaries, governments, they'll get this kind of weapon one way or another, and we're trying to limit the damage. I know you can't see that.
There's a reason the Citadel conventions forbid bioweapons, Doctor.
I didn't expect you'd understand. Our notes and equipment are locked in the quarantine labs. Captain Ventralis doesn't want to risk more contamination.
Is he right to keep people out?
No, the toxin has a brief period of viability. After that, it breaks down into simple protein chains. But he won't listen to me.
I'll talk to him. Maybe I can convince him to let me try.
I can't ask you to do this officially, but if you can do anything, I'd appreciate it.
Tak, co ještě povíš, člověče? Kromě toho, že vyrábíš zbraně masového ničení.
Every species needs to sleep. They're getting twitchy, irrational.
Are you the doctor here?
I'm a doctor, but not the doctor. My specialty is microbiology, not first aid. We had a medic, Dr. Salah, but we lost him. The automatics can handle basic treatment. Mira runs them.
Talk to you later.
I hope you can do something.
Se uvidí, jestli něco zvládnem udělat. Vypadá nějaká polomrtvá.
This system is online and ready to provide emergency services.
Think you could run that equipment for us?
Certainly, Commander. One moment, please.
Už má plný životy. Ale pořád nějaká zelená.
This system is online and ready to provide emergency services.
What are you doing over here?
I administrate the systems of all of the various Peak 15 facilities.
What treatments have been attempted?
I'm afraid treatment is not possible. An unknown toxin is present within the tissues of each patient.
What's wrong with these people?
Accessing logs. They were in the midst of an
When you were taken offline.
Without my program to administrate containment procedures, a quarantine breach occurred.
What treatments have been attempted?
I'm afraid treatment is not possible.
We don't need anything.
Very
right
well,
now.
Commander.
Okidoki. Tady nic víc neuděláme dole. Zatím. Nepamatuju, jestli se tady ještě něco dalo dělat. To tady.
What? No!
To ne. Ano.
Sorry. I haven't had much sleep since the attack. Is there something you need?
To mi povíš.
What sort of work do you do here?
I can't say. I signed a non-disclosure agreement. If we survive, I'd like to keep my job. The location is terrible, but the pay is better than any other commercial lab.
You're not happy on Peak 15?
The outside world doesn't exist here, just walls of ice and rock. There's only the work, the discovery. It's easy to forget why science is guided by ethics. Maybe we're paying for that now.
What do you know about the hot labs?
Nothing, I didn't work there. As far as I know, Han Olar was the only survivor.
Is he in the medical ward?
No, he's staying in the science team's quarters. Be gentle with him. He had a trying experience.
What do you do here?
I'm a toxicologist. I can't talk about my work. Not that I'm doing anything since the accident.
I'm looking for an Asari.
Asari? Well, there's Dr. Ialis over there. There's also our guest, Lady Benezia. Captain Ventralis might know where she is.
How are you holding up?
It would be petty to complain
Dobrá
after
otázka,
showering
hledám
off
Asaríku. Co kdyby tady pracovalo 2000 Asáriek?
Of course, not all of us have guns.
I'm looking for an Asari.
Ježiš, to jsi říkal.
There's also our guest, Lady Benezia. Captain Ventralis might...
I'll talk to you
Remember
later.
to report any suspicious noises.
Proč? Jako, když si třeba prdnou, tak je to má nahlásit. Nějaký spamer. To samozřejmě musíme zatrhnout, kamaráde. Kdybych věděl, co tam je. Jdu začít. Tak. Ale zase, že jsem stejně vymazal jenom sobě. Takže je to jedno. Jako nechápu, proč semka přijde nějaký spamer, tyjo, s zprávou. Kterou napíše všem. Když tady nikdo není, jo. Jsou asi nějaký boty zase. Boty do roboty. Tak jo. Tak si tady pokecáme s tím jediným přeživším, nebo jak byl označen.
You came to find out about them, didn't you?
You mean those things out there?
Yes. I'm the only survivor from the hot lab, you know.
I heard you were at the hot labs. How did you make it out alive?
Teďka to říkal, že tam odešel, tak proč já říkám, že jsem slyšel, že tam byl.
We were going to lunch.
Zbytečně
when the alarms went off.
Řečené.
I ran into the tram and I closed the doors. She banged on the window once, then they sliced her to pieces. Her head came apart like a melon. I closed the door. I killed her.
Tell me what you know. I'll make your survival mean something.
You think I want absolution? There is none.
Could Matriarch Venezia survive in the hot labs?
It's possible. The specimens were sensitive to biotics.
I need to know more about those things out there.
Ještě jsem vzal Liaru.
About the Rachni?
Rachni? That's preposterous.
Where did they come from?
No, poprvé slyšíme
They
slovo.
found it in a derelict ship. An egg.
Rachni.
Waiting since the last battles.
Vždycky. Od nikdy nevím, jak správně.
Shut up! God, you want to get us killed?
Číst jména nebo názvy, které jsou jako originální anglický, a teďka je mám vyslovat v češtině.
If you're gonna be crazy, be the quiet kind.
To, co máš za obličej.
Crazy? I'm sane. God, am I sane?
I need to know everything about the Rachni.
I told you all I can. We brought the Rachni back from the dead. In retrospect,
I'll be leaving now.
Yeah.
Okay, this one will get you. How can you tell jokes? So this hydrogen atom says to another hydrogen, I lost my electron.
I've heard this one.
And the other hydrogen says, man, are you sure?
Blbý starý, blbý vtip.
Positive.
Just shut up. God.
Ale reakce byla mnohem lepší. Tady dobrý vtip. S atomem vodíku.
You're not part of the crew. Call me Shepard. I'm a Spectre, sent by the Citadel.
There aren't any human specters. Look, Plague doesn't care who you are. This lab is under quarantine.
To se ještě uvidí. Já se rovněž dostanu. Šup. Jím utíkat. Tak, kapitáne.
Something you need?
Mentralisy.
I've heard about the problems in the quarantine lab. I'd like to recover the toxin cure.
God, I wish we could help those guys. I really do, but we can't risk contamination now.
We're not part of your defense plans. We're consuming extra rations, extra Medigel.
Yeah, but you also have extra guns. All right, you want to gamble with your life, you're not under my command. I'll have the guard let you in, but he'll lock the door behind you. He'll run a full scan before he'll let you out. If there are any anomalies, you stay in there.
Those are reasonable precautions.
I'll radio ahead to let the guard know. Good luck.
To něco novýho? Není.
I've got work to do.
You and me both.
Tak jo. Ježišmarja. Chození tady po těch schodech je pak jako o držku. Abych z toho dostal tyho záchvat.
What?
Nic.
Sorry, I'll leave.
Then I will return to my meditations.
A já medituji. Jsem docela jistý, že jak vylezu z té laboratoře, takže zrovna ona mě přepadne. Rozhodně jsem si jistý, že dojde k přepadení, to si ještě pamatuju. No, proto jsem taky musel tady pohovořit tady s tím týpkem, protože jakmile vylezu ven, tak on zmizí někam. Nikdy se mi ho potom nepodařilo už najít.
What do you want? I have Ventralis's permission to go in there.
Yeah, he radioed. He also said you have to prove you're not contaminated to get out. You got a death wish? You should stand watches on the barricade.
Neváli. Tak. Pak tady máme uvnitř. Máme tady něco? Medkit. Nějaký krabičky na otevření. Když si pár zkušeností udělám cokoliv. Mám skoro plný inventář, musím něco prodat. Ježišmarja. Teplbá min. Ježiši Kriste. To tak rychle, že jsem nestihl zareagovat.
Your mission ends here, Shepard.
We'll see about that, bitch.
What happened to Ventralis's man?
I didn't have permission to come in. He got in my way. I was ordered to eliminate you should the opportunity arise. And here you are, trapped in this lab. Weapons free! Kill them all!
Začínat otočený k tím zády. Zabiju. Spadla krabce. Tyjo, ty krabice jsou dobrý. Nepamatuju, že by to na ně takhle padalo. Musím to moc nevědět. Ještě si ještě nažil? Vyléčená Liara, aspoň už konečně nemá zelený ten. No, musíme rozebírat věci, no. Jak se nedostanu do inventáře. Mám moc věcí už. Neuvědomil, že jsme tak moc. Tohle nechápu. Tady píše výrobce. Už to u ničeho jiného nedělá. Já mám dvakrát, takže to není žádný speciální. Ty Rexy, ty určitě používáš brokovnici. Wow. Zlepšení jako prasa. Ale moc lepší není. Tohle je lepší aspoň v jednom parametru. Tohle to pro lepší pro tebe. Snajperku sice nepoužíváš, ale i tak. Nějaký zbrnění pro vás. A pro mě dokonce. Ale pro ní jo. Tak nezmizel.
They came out of there.
You mean the get... the inorganics the Asari had with her?
Venezia brought them with her.
How can I get into the maintenance area?
A team lead would have access. Like Dr. Cohen. He's in the medical bay.
I'll be leaving now.
Yeah.
Okay, takže teďka přidáme lék právě tomu doktorovi, který má ten přístup do zadního průchodu, zadních vrátek, z těch držby. Ještě předtím si tady pokecám s tebou.
It's pleasant to see you well.
Let's have a look.
Regretfully, most of my stuff.
Ještě něco prodáme. Hodně staré věci. Všechno do úrovně 3. Do 4. A dáme všechno do 3. Do 4. To zbavíme, nabereme nějaký prašule. Teďka jít tady předat ten lék.
Is that the cure? You did it?
That Asari scientist, the one in the mess hall, she just tried to kill us.
Alestia? That's unbelievable. Well, I don't know much about her. She arrived a month ago. One of the shareholders pulled strings to get her here.
Let me guess. Saren the Spectre.
Yes. I think that was the name. I don't pay attention to the other research teams. Look, the guards, they've been more on edge since you got here. I think they were expecting you. And there are more labs in the back. The guards won't even let me back there. Just people with clearance.
What about the maintenance area? Do you have access to that?
The maintenance area? Yes. Take my pass. But there's just snow back there. Let me see that file. An extension on Phelps' work? I thought he was on the right track. I can't thank you enough that... Oh, God, what a cliché. You saved their lives, do you know that?
Could you spare a few medical packs? They're worth their weight in gold up here.
You didn't get these from me. Ventrolus wanted them saved for his people. I need to administer this. Thanks again.
Urdelně.
This system is online and ready to provide emergency services.
What's wrong with these people?
They were exposed to a novel form of toxin.
Takže
Very
nic
well,
novýho od tebe.
Commander. Logging you out.
Ty, můžu si s tebou povídat ještě o něčem zajímavým?
Remember to report any suspicious noises.
Takže s tebou jsme hotoví. Můžu si popovídat ještě o něčem tím kapitánem.
Something you need?
I was attacked by the Asari who was in here. She killed your guard.
Dr. Ayalis? But she seemed like the most stable one here.
She was a huntress pledged to the matriarch. A group of Geth were with her.
Geth? I didn't know. God's honest truth, I thought she was just another egghead. Son of a bitch.
I've got work to do.
Tak aspoň tohle jsme mu mohli říct. Si pamatuju, že když člověk dodělá jakoby tu hlavní misi tady, potom se k němu vrátí, k tomu velitelovi, tak že nás napadne. Že ho musíme zabít, což není zrovna něco, co bych chtěl dělat. Takže on je jako docela jako normální člověk, jenom plní rozkazy svých nadřízených. Neví vyloženě, že jsou to jako záporáci. Záporáci. Pokud jsem to neřekl nahlas. Si neprdl. Jenže naopak tady si zase neprdnu já, to si ještě pamatuju, když jsem to hrával poprvé, že to bylo těžký i na lehkou úroveň tady tahle část. Tenkrát jsem samozřejmě nebyl moc dobrý hráč v tom. Jej, sakra. Vedlejší úkol se nám odemkl. Ajajaj, tady se to rozjede. Možná udělám normální save.
You do not know the privilege of being a mother. There is power in creation. To shape a life, turn it toward happiness or despair. Her children were to be ours, raised to hunt and slay Saren's enemies. I won't be moved by sympathy, no matter who you bring into this confrontation.
Liara's here because she wants to be, not because I asked her to.
Indeed. What have you told him about me, Liara?
What could I say, Mother? That you're insane? Evil? Should I explain how to kill you? What could I say?
Have you faced an Asari commando unit before? Few humans have.
I can't believe you'd kill your own daughter.
I now realize I should have been stricter with her.
Jasně, dostá země dej. Kdybych chtěla, to nemohla takhle zlomit vás. Jo, to je přesně to, co nesnáš. To můžela nějak rychle. Moje krytí. Šuměna. Ježiš, oni zapí trakci. Co se stalo? Co se stalo? Jak si zůstat naživu, blbečku. Já jí snajperoval. Ajajajajaj. A to tu zase lítá vzduchem. Já jsem mrtvej. Co jsem říkal? Co jsem říkal? Ano. Použil na mě biotické schopnosti. A to jsem nechtěl.
What could I say, Mother?
Have you faced an Asari?
A tohle se nedá přeskočit. Nemám rád, když člověk musí opakovat scény, jen aby se dostal na místo, odkud teprve jako může něco dělat. Klidně mohlo fungovat tak, že... Klidně mohlo fungovat tak, že tady vznikne prostě autosave těsně po té konverzaci. Mohlo být v klidu. Tyjo, to mě dá. Jsem nemohl srazit k zemi. Tahle oblast je úplně na hovno. Žádný pořádný krytí.
You do not. I won't be moved by. Indeed.
What could I say?
Have you faced?
Ještě, že aspoň ty keci se dají přeskočit. To mě fakt nejvíc štve, že mi nefunguje quick slot. Ježiš, já už jsem zase mrtvej. To snad není ani pravda. Kam mě zmizelý životy do prčic.
I won't be moved.
What could I say?
Have you faced?
Další varianta je, že bych jako utekl někam bokem. Ale ono není moc kam. Ježíši Kriste, vole, teď jsem měl plný životy. Jak má plný životy a najednou nemá žádný. Vidíte, čím do mě ona střílí, to snad není ani pravda. Třech malých útoků. 4 kulky na mě vystřelí, já jsem skoro mrtvý. OK, tohle je druhá vlna. Tam zůstanou zalezlí dokud... Ježíš, vlastně se mi znáší. Co to tváří? Tady střílí. Ale střílí na mě. Tak dalo. Oj, co to bylo? Dětský snajpry nemám rád. Ty kráso, tak už vím, kdo mě zabíjí. Co to je? Tam ne, tamhle. Začala střílet takovou salvu, že si málem zazvím. Má smysl ani nestřílet. Oh! Proč jsem se svalil k zemi? Co se stalo v jaře zas? The heck? Vždycky někam odletěj a já nevím kam. Tady mě trefil, jak jsem mrtvej. Zase paní snajpší. Lepší to rozstřelit, než aby to potom trefilo mě. Výstržničky. Si nepamatuju, že bych je tady musel takhle nahánět. Teď co se stalo v Rexovi? Prkna. Ani nemířil na mě, ty vole. Já vím, že to ještě není konec bitvy, ale potřebujeme to tady nějak vylepšit něco. Assault rifles. Basic armor. Já budu muset zainvestovat do pistolí, to se mi nelíbí. singularity. Její nejlepší schopnost zamčená až tak hluboko daleko. Stáze. Ještě tam jsou další. Jsem myslel, že už to máme za sebou. Jara to koupila. Jsi v Rexima. A jich zašíváš někde? Uf. Prosím, ne. Jedna rána, já mám života a půl v prdeli. Uf, dali jsme to.
This is not over. Saren is unstoppable. My mind is filled with his light. Everything is clear.
The Rachni didn't cooperate with you. Why should I?
I will not betray him. You will... You must listen. Saren still whispers in my mind. I can fight his compulsions, briefly, but the indoctrination is strong.
Why are you able to break free of his control now?
I sealed a part of my mind away from the indoctrination, saving it for a moment when I could help destroy him. It will not last long.
So you could turn on me again?
Yes, but it would not be my will, Shepard. People are not themselves around Saren. You come to idolize him, worship him. You would do anything for him. The key is Sovereign, his flagship. It is a dreadnought of incredible size, and its power is extraordinary.
Sovereign's not like other ships. Where did it come from?
I cannot say. The Geth did not build it. Its technology is far more advanced than that of any known species. The longer you stay aboard, the more Saren's will seems correct. You sit at his feet and smile as his words pour into you. It is subtle at first. I thought I was strong enough to resist. Instead, I became a willing tool, eager to serve. He sent me here to find the location of the new relay. Its position was lost thousands of years ago.
How does something that big go missing?
4,000 years ago, a star nearby went supernova. The shockwave propelled the relay out of its system, but did not damage it. Its precise vector and speed are impossible to determine. As millennia passed, the nebula created by the nova enveloped the relay. It is difficult to find any cold object in interstellar space, particularly something swathed in hot dust and radiation.
Someone on Noveria found it?
2,000 years ago, the Rachni inhabited that region of our galaxy. They discovered the relay. The Rachni can share memories across generations. Queens inherit the knowledge of their mothers.
Mě zajímalo, jak funguje genetická paměť. Bylo by to zajímavé, kdybychom dokázali zakódovat naše znalosti do našeho DNA. Potom bychom se narodili v podstatě už se všemi vědomostmi. Prakticky asi nereálný, protože DNA ovlivňuje tolik věcí, že jakákoliv změna DNA může mít stovky různých efektů. Ale jako nápad zajímavý. Tak do určité úrovně asi DNA paměť asi existuje, protože člověk nebo zvířata i člověk se narodí v podstatě s nějakou základní, řekněme, nějakým základním způsobem chování. Takže i zvířata, které nejsou vychovávány svými rodiči, tak takovou myšlenku, tak se chovají tak jako jejich rodiče. Bez tří. Jím chování, řekněme, zvedá nohu, i když v životě nežil se psem, kterýho by viděl.
Die.
Tuhle pitku si pamatuju. Ježíši, dívejte na to, tyjo. 3 kulky a jsem mrtvej. Úplně někdo střílí vodíkač. Kolik jich ještě je? Já jsem tuhej. To je moc. Oblast bez nějakého krytí. Na mě tady prostě, a oni prostě ještě se chovají takovým způsobem, že na mě vletí prostě. Ježišmarja, celou diskusi od začátku. Vždy. Proč ty autosavey nevznikají potom?
He sent me here to find. It is difficult to find. I took the location of the relay. They searched patient. He believed.
Knowing the relay's coordinates.
Sarah, you have to stop.
Mother!
Heads up.
A zní lítek. No to je skvělý, to je skvělý. Co toto je?
This is not over.
The Arachnite didn't go.
I sealed the key. It is. He sent me here to find the. It is difficult to. I took the location. They searched. He believed.
Knowing them.
You have to.
Mother!
Ty krávo, to si děláš, prdel. A teďka jsem na místě, od kterého se nedá dostat, vole, takže jako co mám dělat tady? Můžu akorát tak zemřít. To je skvělý, to je fakt skvělý. Bože můj. Co mám dělat, vole? Já už jsem to slyšel tolikrát.
The key. He sent me here to find. It is difficult. I took the location.
Bohužel nikdy nevím, která z těch otázek může otevřít další. Jak se tomu říká, další kodexy. Takže musím Ty krávo, vole, co toto je? No, za mnou jsou ty výbušniny do prdele, vole.
This is not over.
Takže přede mnou je nesmrtelná, vole, svině. Za mnou jsou výbušniny, který ona může odpálit. A co jako mám dělat? Já. stoupnout přímo přede mě, aby do tebe nemohl střílet, kurva. Ta umřela. Teďka je tady kolem mě 20členný komando. A musím ty stříč někam, že toto náhodou. Ježiši, právo, to snad není pravda. Že ona si stoupne přímo nade mě, vole. Použiješ tu schopnost? Ona si stoupne mě za záda a do ní nemůžu ani vystřelit, nic prostě. Takový vychcávky jsem fakt viděl. Tak, nevím jak na tom je se životama, ale budu asi ten střílet prostě nemůže. Já se, že umřela.
I cannot go on. You will have to stop him, Shepard.
Hold on. We've got Nedigel. Maybe we can...
No. He is still in my mind. I am not entirely myself. I never will be again. Mother. Good night, little wing. I will see you again with the dawn. No light. They always said there would be a...
Ty do toho ta bojová hudba. To je smutný. Rachna Queen. Rachna Queen. Jak to číst? Jedno.
This one serves as our voice. We cannot sing. Not in these low spaces. Your musics are colorless.
Musics? What?
Your way of communicating is strange. Flat. It does not color the air. When we speak, one moves all.
This is going to be a fun conversation.
We are the mother. We sing for those left behind. The children you thought silenced. We are Rachni.
How are you speaking through her?
Our kind sing through touchings of thought. We pluck the strings, and the other understands. She is weak to urging. She has colors we have no names for. But she is ending. Her music is bittersweet. It is beautiful. The children
symphony
were stolen from us before they could learn to sing. They are lost to silence. And their suffering, they cannot be saved. They will only
zvláštně jako v těch starých hrách. Ten jejich stín reaguje s tím sklem za nima, že to vypadá prostě
I don't understand. Why are your children killing people?
These needlemen, they stole our eggs from us. They sought to turn our children into beasts of war, claws with no songs of their own. Our elders are comfortable with silence. Children know only fear if no one sings to them. Fear has shattered their minds.
I understand. A child left alone in a closet until she is 16 would not be sane.
If you're sure they can't be saved.
It is lamentable, but necessary. Do what you must. Before you deal with our children, we stand before you. What will you sing? Will you release us? Are we to fade away once more?
There are acid tanks rigged up on that thing. Set them off. Millions of my ancestors died to put these things down. Don't let them come back.
They made a mistake. They let the Krogan go too far. This is a chance for us to atone. She has done nothing to us.
Your companions hear the truth. You have the power to free us, or return our people to the silence of memory.
If I let you live, would you attack other races again?
No.
Samozřejmě nezničím zase celou rasu
Do not know
mimozemšťanů.
what happened in the war. We only heard discordance, songs the color of oily shadows. We would seek a hidden place to teach our children harmony. If they understand, perhaps we would return.
Are you a survivor from the war? A clone?
We do not know. We were only an egg, hearing Mother cry in our dreams. A tone from space hushed one voice after
Nevěřím moc tomu, že by dokázali embrya ve vajíčku slyšet své matky.
Then we awoke in this place, the last echo of those who came out from the singing planet. The sky is silent.
I won't destroy your entire race. You'll go free.
Are you stupid? Your people didn't fight these bastards, so maybe you don't get it.
Are we any better if we kill them all?
Do what you want. My people will clean up this mess later, just like we did for the Solarians.
You will give us the chance to compose anew? We will remember. We will sing of your forgiveness to our children.
Great. Bugs are writing songs about you. Mark my words, you'll regret this.
Ty víš, třeba to bude hit. Takový krásný broučci. Pyšnej. Tak. Tam tady pípá nějaký alarm, ale musím napřed pootvírat všechny krabice, co jsem tady zahlíd. Gel, ten se nám bude hodit. To vše? Tady už žádná další není. Tam to vede. Tam to vede východu. Ale ještě si pamatuju. Tady byl ještě jeden. No, tamhle je ten vchod, ale se k němu nedostanu. Já se k němu ale chci dostat. Podívám na mapu. Tak on byl asi tam z boku, jako víc než tady. Tak ne, no. Jo, on vždycky člověk musí přijít tam těma dveřma, takže to bylo rozvětvený ještě za nima. Dávní. Teď můj jediný úkol je dostat se do těch žádných cest. Se nedá jít už ani tam nahoru. To je dobře. To nebudu muset zabít ty vojáky. Tak, tenhle úsek jsem nikdy neměl rád.
Are you here to secure the situation?
How are you holding up?
You must listen to me. If we do not contain our mistake, they will drop bombs from the battle stations. You understand?
You let these things out?
I am only following the orders. Binary Helix found an egg. It was on a derelict ship, thousands of years drifting. This was Ragnar's ship. Inside they find many eggs in cryogenic suspension.
1,000-year-old egg hatched?
Yes. Very tough to be so long frozen. That it survived the centuries. This is miraculous. Binary Helix planned to clone Ragnar.
Kromě toho, že to vajíčko přežilo, tak se štěstím to bylo zrovna vajíčko královny.
After she lays eggs, they move her to Rift Station. They are thinking that without her they can raise the babies to be obedient.
Hold on. Don't you need a male to get eggs?
Queens are born carrying the genetic code of their fathers. Eggs are carried away from the colony to hatch alone. Queens can lay eggs in hours and have a colony in days. This is how they spread so quickly.
Separating them from their mother didn't work.
This was exactly the wrong thing to do. I am thinking that without a queen, Ragnar do not develop properly. Her mind is shaping theirs. These Ragnar are uncontrollable.
Then all we need to do is bring her here.
No, I am sorry.
No zrovna když jsme ho vypustili, tak už ji asi nepřivedeme zpátky.
These Ragnar are beyond saving. It is a sad thing, but they must be euthanized. I am thinking that the neutron purge must be set off.
I'm not familiar with the purge system.
It creates bursts of neutron radiation, kills everything within the station. Things beyond get genetic damage of varying degree.
Once the purge is armed, we'll have to fight our way out. Give us a minute to patch up and rearm.
Sure. I wait here. I am not so much good for searching now, yes? Mother always say I would meet a bad end. I am feeling not so well.
How do we set off the purge?
Arming controls are nearby. All you do is insert the key. Then I will give Mira destruct.
Double O. Double O. Bože, vole. Oni dokážou vždycky jednou ranou mě prostě sejmout. Kde jsem teďka? Šmarja. Člověk to jednou neuloží a musí běžit, jo. Děláš, šívce nemačka, teda kontrol. Tak, tentokrát to tady uložím.
Are you here to secure the situation?
That's right. I'm a council
You must listen to me. This was a... After she lays egg, queens can lay eggs. I am thinking that these Rachni, it creates burst of neutron. Arming controls are nearby. All you do is insert the key. Then I will give Mira destruct...
Už to říká dvakrát, to je takový divný bug. Budeme pryč.
Bring it on.
It's over now.
Connecting. I have full access to the facility and am at your disposal.
How many Rachni are in here?
I'm sorry, the sensor network is too damaged to provide an accurate count.
Give me your best guess.
Guessing is beyond my design parameters, Commander.
What's the status of the facility?
Containment breach in Laboratory Pod Gamma. The neutron purge system is functional, but has not been armed.
Activate the neutron purge.
I'm sorry, but I can't do that without proper code authorization.
Code input 875-020-079. Code Omega. Local execution.
Verified. Code Omega execution in 120 seconds.
2 minuty na to. Tak je, ale diabel. Běž. Ježišmarja. Ale nejlepší prostě proběhnout, ale...
Connecting. I have full access to the I'm sorry. Guessing is beyond my...
Activate the neutron purge.
I'm sorry.
Kill them all.
Se jenom postavit. Ježíš, nezastavuj. Ty si teda vybíráš čas nezastavovaný. What the fuck? Tak to je moc, tyjo. Hra crashla, jo? Díky tomu, no výborně. Tak to jsem nečekal. Kdy to ukazovalo, že ještě životy má?
Connecting. I have full access to the facility.
How many Rachni are in here?
I'm so guessing is beyond my design parameters.
Activate the neutron.
I'm so
Ježišmarja. Jsem neskutečný s tímhle, fakt. A co člověk buduje štíty, když ho potom propálí.
Activate the neutron.
I'm sorry.
Dokáže rany. Ty. Vůbec ne. Jsem do koutu. Uf. Oni se tam dají vyvraždit, když to člověk hraje na nižší úroveň, ale takhle to bohužel nejde. Zabil jsem Heroes na to, abych získal další úroveň. Což se samozřejmě hodí. A ještě se podíváme do inventáře. Tady asi nic moc zajímavého nebude. Tak. Když jsme skončili, přáteli. XTO 0008 AT. Což nejspíš vůbec nic neznamená.
What's our next move, Commander? Head for the Mu relay?
The Mu relay could link to dozens of systems. Unless we know exactly where Saren's going, we'd just be wasting our time.
The commander is right. We cannot rush off blind. We still need to learn more about Saren.
Who put you in charge? Did the commander resign when I wasn't looking?
We're all on the same team here, Williams. She's just trying to help.
Sorry, Commander.
This is a tough mission. We're
Jak
all
se do
on it.
toho opřela,
Everyone go get some rest.
když
Crew,
se snažila setřít
Bavaria report is away, Commander. Want me to patch it through to the Council?
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
Is this report accurate, Commander? You found Rachni on Bavaria?
And then release the Queen. Do you have any idea what you've done? How many generations until they overrun the galaxy?
Ale prosím, nic se nestane, klid.
She understands why her kind had to be wiped out last time around.
Rachni jsou na posledním seznamu nepřátel, Dip. Na posledním místě seznamu nepřátel, tak.
We'll be waiting for your next report, Commander.
Daleko horší jsou Reaperové, ve které nevěříte.
Yes, Commander?
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, sir.
Presley, jsi tak zbytečný. Nikdy nic nepovíš. Aspoň Joker vždycky má aspoň jednu hlášku.
Boy, am I glad to be off of Novaria. I don't know which was worse, the cold or the corporations. One will freeze your balls off, the other will sell them out from under you. With all due respect, Commander.
I have to go.
All right, see you.
Super, super. Mně se vždycky strašně líbil design tady téhle lodi. Když si nedokážu představit, že by lidi, kteří na ní pracovali, mohli pracovat v takové tmě. Je to docela špatně osvětlený.
Anything you need, Commander?
Jako vypadá to dobře ve hře, ale ve skutečnosti by to bylo asi zvláštní chodit v přítmí neustále.
They're on your side. They're pissed about the resistance we're getting, especially from our side. I'll have a better handle on all of it when my head stops hurting. Their L2 flare up.
Anything I can do?
No, Commander, it'll settle down. It's rough sometimes, but they spike higher than a lot of L3s. Except for you, of course. Besides, I fared a lot better than some after Kinetics was through.
I haven't heard anything about Kinetics in a while.
Yeah, they quietly disappeared. Broke up into a bunch of little corps after they botched the training on Jump Zero. After first contact, Kinetics was set up to track Element Zero exposures and develop implants for humans. Once we had an embassy on the Citadel, Kinetics could bring in experts instead of taking it slow.
Is there some reason we couldn't learn it on our own?
They didn't know where to start. Hell, it took a couple of years to even link biotics and EZO. Forget trying to get the kids to move stuff. They had trouble just helping them not break their own limbs. And their choice of teachers didn't help much.
The only experts would have to be aliens.
Dead on. Turians, actually. That's why Kinetics kept it a secret. They were afraid of what people back home would think, asking the Turians for help when we just fought a war with them.
The Asari would have been more acceptable than the Turians.
Yes, but the company didn't go through the Citadel. It would have made Earth look weak, so they discreetly hired some Turian mercenaries.
I'm sure Canadix did what they thought was best.
It wasn't best for us. They brought in an ex-military Turian named Commander Vernus. A real hard-ass. He basically had a free pass to break us if it would turn out a decent biotic. Kind of spiraled from there, Commander.
Did he ever face charges for that?
He got his, yeah. But like everything else at Jump Zero, was under the table. The less said, the better. Anyway, this is ancient stuff. I walked it off a long time ago. I should get back to my duties, Commander. We're here to make history, not rehash it.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Killing Saren's, what was Benezia anyway? Second in command? Advisor? Anyway, it should set him back a bit. I'm sure Dr. Tisoni's
To si nemyslím, že ho to nějak poznamenalo.
killed her own mom.
Any opinion on the Rachni?
Off the record, if we had the option, I'd as soon have left it to the Council. We weren't out here during the Rachni War. I'm not sure we have any business getting involved.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Je tady něco, na co bych mohl kliknout? Není. Tak jo, tohle se hodit bude.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Liara.
If you are here to talk about Benezia's death, you need not bother. She brought it upon herself.
Don't pretend it doesn't bother you. She was your mother.
She was. But she was not. I prefer to remember Benezia as she used to be, before she was corrupted by Sovereign's power.
The best of your mother lives on in you. Her determination, her intelligence, her strength.
That is kind of you to say. I appreciate your concern, but I am fine. Benezia chose her path, just as I have chosen mine. I am with you until the end, Shepard.
I'd like to know more about the
Although we seek to understand, we still require a partner to...
To všechno slyšeli.
We then pass these traits on. Others can be more long. She rarely spoke of... It is possible Benezia's but many Asari raise their children alone, particularly... Goodbye, Shepard. I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Maybe we could pick up where we left off. You were telling me about your interest in the Protheans.
Actually, I think I was talking about my interest in you, and making a fool of myself in the process. As I said, I am not used to dealing with people, especially humans. I did not really know much about your species when we first met, Shepard. I found it hard to take humanity seriously. Your kind always seemed so rushed and high-strung.
Yeah, jenom
We don't
někteří
have the luxury
spěchají.
of time. An Asari can live for 1,000 years. We're lucky if we hit
Pak od všech
150.
ostatních lidí velice rád
That is
nedělám
true.
nic.
At first I thought that was a weakness of your species. After spending time with you and your crew, however, I think it may actually be an advantage. You humans are creatures of action. You pursue your goals with an almost indomitable determination. It is an admirable trait, but also an intimidating one.
You're scared of us?
Unfortunately, the rest of the galaxy sees humanity as something of a bully. You run over anyone in your path to
Vždycky
get
byli
what
za
you
krkem,
want.
když streamuju.
It is up to people like you to change their minds, Shepard.
I'm doing the best I can,
A
Liara.
dokážu sedět u
There is
počítače
a
tyho
reason
hodiny,
the council
aniž
chose
by,
you to become a Spectre. They
aniž by
saw
mě
something
cokoliv
special
bolelo.
in you.
Jakmile
The
začnu
best of what
streamovat, tak
humanity has
prostě
to
všechno.
offer. I looked into your
Všechno
history.
nepohodlný.
I know what you did during the Blitz. It was a remarkable display of courage and heroism.
You didn't need to go behind my back. I would have told you whatever you wanted to know.
I apologize, Commander. After our last conversation, I was afraid I would say something stupid again. I wanted to know
No
more
proto
about
tě mám
you,
rád, Liaro.
to
Chci
understand what
říkat
made
něco
you into the man you
trapného.
are. There is something compelling about you, Shepard.
Are you sure you're interested in me? Or is it my visions of the Protheans?
Ale to bylo drsný,
I
Shepard, ne?
admit, your connection to the Protheans had something to do with my initial interest, but it has grown beyond that. You intrigue me, Shepard, but I was not sure if it was appropriate to act on my feelings. I thought there might already be a relationship between you and Chief Williams.
Williams and I are just friends, nothing more.
My mistake, then. I am not as adept at understanding human relationships as I thought. But what about us, Shepard? Is there a mutual attraction, or was I wrong about that too?
No.
Modrá je má
There is something
oblíbená
between
barva.
us.
Takže
I knew it, and I knew you felt it too. But does this not
Trajáš
seem
za
rather
červenou.
strange? Why do I feel so close to you? We have only
Ale
known each
modrá
other a
kůže
short
vypadá
time.
dobře.
We are from two different species. We have almost nothing in common. This makes no sense.
These things never make sense. They just happen, and we get swept up in the storm.
You make it sound so chaotic, so dangerous.
Já tě ochráním.
I'll keep you safe.
I am not looking for a protector. This is all a bit overwhelming. I am not used to this. You. I need some time.
Take all the time you need, Liara. I'll be here.
Thank you, Shepard. Let's
Vstát přímo na
let's
tomhle
just
místě,
talk about
dokud
something
si,
else for now.
dokud se nerozhodneš.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Já. Jdem za Ash. Jdem mi říct, že ji mám taky rád. Budem si hrát na Casanovu. Hey, Rexy.
What do you want, Shepard?
Why did you become a mercenary?
Povíš mi něco?
Lots of reasons.
Such as?
Such as, I needed to get out of our system. I needed to eat. I needed to survive.
Why not stay and help your people?
I tried to help. That's why I had to leave.
What happened?
I was betrayed. I was head of a small tribe. We were trying to restore order after the war, but the other tribes were against us. They followed Jared, one of the few warlords who survived the war with the Turians. But he was old, and so were his ideas. He wanted to continue the war. He wanted us to fight. Turians, Solarians, each other. It didn't matter who, as long as we were fighting.
What did you want?
I just wanted Jared to shut up, to stop his ranting. I wanted him to stop leading the tribes astray. But he couldn't understand how much things had changed. We didn't have the numbers to go to war. Even if we did, the genophage made sure we couldn't replenish our numbers fast enough. I told them all to forget about war. We needed to focus on breeding, at least for one generation. And for a while, we were getting through. Some of the tribes started coming around.
I take it the warlord didn't appreciate that.
No, he didn't. He arranged a crush with the tribes, a meeting on neutral ground. He wanted to talk. We met in the hollows,
setkání s Račkou.
The skulls of our dead laid bare to remind us where we come from and where we all go. It's as sacred as any Krogan place can be. Violence is forbidden.
It sounds like a trap to me. You must have suspected as much.
I did. But when your father invites you to a crush, well, there are some laws that even we hold sacred.
Jared was your father?
He was. Until that day. We talked, but we didn't get anywhere. When it was clear that I wouldn't join him, he gave the signal. His men leapt from the graves of our ancestors like Krogan undead. The few that were loyal to me died quickly.
The walking Krogan dead.
I escaped with my life, but not before I sank my dagger deep into my father's chest. That is why I left, and that's why I'll never go back.
You must have family other than your father. Don't you miss them?
You're trying to make me cry, Shepard.
Přesně tak.
I've got some unfinished business with my family. but that's all.
What kind of business?
Before I left, I made an oath to my father's father. I swore to recover my family's battle armor. It was taken from him after the uprising.
What's so important about this armor?
It's a relic. Useless, really. But it was worn by 5 generations of my family before the war. It's rightfully mine. Originally, it was taken by the Turian military. We weren't allowed armor or weapons after the war. Now, it's in the hands of Ton Actus, a Turian scum who collects relics from the war. He's made millions selling Krogan artifacts that were stolen from my people. He's got several bases where he stores his goods, all fortified and guarded. I just don't know which base has my family's armor.
Just tell me where to start looking.
I'll upload the data to your nav system. But Commander, I want to be there when you find him.
Jasně.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Oh, before I go, you said you're serving with Commander Shepard now? We saw him on the news here. He's cute. Later, sis.
Tell me you didn't hear that.
Afraid I did.
Oh, shoot me now. One of my sisters. That's Sarah, the youngest. Surprised to see you here, sir. Thought you'd be chatting up, what's her name? Tisoni?
To je žádlý.
Why would you think that?
Scuttlebutt says you got a bit of a thing for her. I could understand why. The crew's off limits with the regs against fraternization. And at least she looks like a woman.
You think I'm interested in Liara because she's the only one I'm allowed to date?
So you are interested in her. Of course, it could be politics. Alien diplomat's daughter, us under orders to make nice with the bug-eyed monsters. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family mail.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
Did your father serve with the fleet?
To mi poví o všech členech své rodiny.
Get that offered space time. You know what? He worked his ass off trying to get recognized, but he never made it above serviceman 3rd class. He was real proud when I met Chief. First thing he did was salute.
What about your mother? You haven't mentioned her.
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be, able to raise kids while Dad's away on a 6-month cruise. She has a degree in planetary geology. She and Dad both wanted to see new worlds. She gave up her career to raise us, though.
You have more than one sister? Sounds like a big family.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, then Abby, then Lynn. Sarah's the youngest. She's still in high school. With 4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more outnumbered at home than on maneuvers.
Where did you grow up?
Ty mít 3 ségry.
Same as you, I expect. We transferred a half a
Jako
dozen times
otec ty
before I
mít
finished grade
doma
school.
5 ženských.
You go where
Matku
personnel
4
command sends
děcka.
you, right? I guess that's why I'm so tight with my
To
sisters.
musí být nářez
We
na
have to leave all our
psychiku jako
friends every
prase.
2 or 3 years.
I was an only child, but I get the idea. At least one of my parents was always on duty.
Yeah, military families, eh? With schedules like that, it's a wonder we ever have kids anymore. Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did, Mike.
Oj.
I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vid mails, and I'd tell her to relax.
Where were you when this was going on?
I was on active duty. Sarah's graduating high school this year. This was only a couple of years back. They were on Amaterasu. At the time, I was assigned to Chernobog. Same cluster, but a dozen Hellwire away. Close enough to talk regularly, too far to make it back in an emergency. I couldn't afford a fast packet flight.
If he really liked her, he wouldn't be pushy.
Yeah, of course. If he didn't ask at all, I'd wonder if he thought Sarah was ugly. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods, because he figured it was past time they did the deed. She levered Mike face first into a tree and left. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn some kind of self-defense. I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
Why didn't you tell the police?
She said it wouldn't solve the real problem, and she and Mike would both become household names. It was a small colony. I said it was her call to make, that we should let her do it her way. Mom was pretty pissed about that.
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense?
Lynn did pistol practice, but didn't like it. She's kind of nervous. Sarah took Aikido. Abby decided to learn the sword. She always was a little weird. Likes big skirts and tops you have to tie her into. They do great things to her figure, though.
So, what did you learn?
One of Dad's friends taught me Marine hand-to-hand.
You traveled all the way home to walk your sister to school.
It was only a dozen light years, like a day's cruise. It's not like I was going to Earth or something. My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up puncher. When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was going to end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. And she hugged him. The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
Your sister's something else. But you didn't mention your father at all. Was he on deployment?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I've enjoyed, I've suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
I never thought I'd hear you reciting poetry.
Just because I can drill you between the eyes at 100 meters doesn't mean I can't like sensitive stuff. Just don't spread it around. Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home. Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though. So behave.
Sara měla přítele před pár lety. Táta umřel před pár lety. Mám takový pocit, že taťka dostal infarkt, když se dozvěděl, že jeho dcerka plánuje víc sex.
That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
Everyone has the right to believe what they want. Says so in the Alliance Charter. Only with fancier words.
I'm glad you're open-minded about it. I've met a few people who were really weirded out by my faith.
Zajímavý, jak
Because I work in space, I can't believe in a higher power.
víra v Boha je v podstatě raritou.
Hello, have you people looked out the window? How can you look at this galaxy and not believe in something? I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
You mean the Rachni, right? They were dangerous, Skipper. They proved that 2,000 years ago. I think it was a mistake to let them go. But that wasn't my call to make. It was yours. You know, you really should talk to Tizoni about her mom. She has to be hurting. Just saying, Skipper.
We'll talk later.
Looking forward to it, Skipper.
Good to see you. You've been with CSEC a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
I'll bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit...
Jo, já to začnu asi přeskakovat, ty
What
řeči.
happened? Why were you investigating?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it
A
harmless.
víc už mě kručí v břichu a mám hlad.
But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the psychos. I remember this one L-Corps diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs. Had the station in a bit of a panic. But this case wasn't that clear-cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Salarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
You're kidding,
Testicles.
Right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility, counteract the effects of the genophage. It doesn't work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set.
Někteří Krogeni mají 4 varlata, to je pěkný.
What did you do about the geneticist? I brought in some of his employees.
Když představ ten sáček, prostě ten pytel, kterým jsou 4 vůle.
I came across something suspicious.
Bože.
You mean threaten? Was that really necessary?
Maybe, maybe not. Either way, it paid off. One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We
To pořád zívat, to není pravda.
Freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
Kolik mají lív v sobě prostoru, aby mohli vůbec jako pěstovat orgány, aniž by to šlo vidět.
We never caught him.
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
Proč najednou tuhle větu řekl tak strašně
potichu? But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. He just used them to make more organs, but they wouldn't listen.
Well, it's not worth the risk. You pursue the vessel and disable it. That's the best choice.
They sent the military after him, but he got away just the same. Yes, they did. I went to Palin and told him what I thought of him and his policies. He said if I didn't like it, I could quit. Well, I almost did. All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
If you don't care about the fate of those hostages, then you're no better than he is. You're just a terrorist with a badge.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It doesn't make it any easier, but I see your point. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Salion?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart, his idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
I'll check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that. But Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Leon, I want to be there when you find him.
Není problém. Tak. Ještě pokecáme s Tali a pak to ukončíme.
Shepard, I'm glad you're here.
Good to see you smiling again, so to speak.
I'm sleeping much better now. I guess I'm getting used to how quiet your ship is. I still think a lot about my pilgrimage, though. I know Theron's our top priority, but with all the worlds we go to, I was hoping to find something to bring back to the flotilla.
We've still got a long way to go. You'll find something to take back.
Yes, but it cannot just be some derelict ship my people can use for salvage. It has to be more than that. There's a lot expected of me.
What's so special about you?
It's my father. He's the senior member of the Admiralty Board. He's one of only 5 people who can overrule the decisions of the Conclave for the good of the migrant fleet. My father is responsible for the lives of 17 million people. Our entire race is in his hands, and I'm his only child.
So are you some kind of heir to the Quarian throne or something?
No, it doesn't work that way. My father's position isn't hereditary. I'll probably never serve on the Admiralty Board myself. Officially, I'm just the same as any other citizen. But it doesn't work that way in practice. People have always treated me differently because of who my father is.
You must get all kinds of special privileges.
I probably had it easier than most growing up, but it's not all good. People like my father have enemies, and they're not above using me to get to him.
It must be tough on you.
My people place a high value on family and ancestry. There's an unspoken expectation that I'll live up to my father's example. Everyone's waiting for me to do something great on my pilgrimage, something that will forever change our lives for the better. If I don't, it's like I failed, and that reflects badly on both me and my father.
Tvůj táta bude na tebe pyšný.
The work you're doing here is more important than anything any Quarian has ever done before.
Yes, I know. But you have to understand Quarian culture. We're a very insular society. The events beyond the flotilla don't much matter to the average citizen. Our greatest dream is that one day we'll return to our homeworld and drive out the Geth. But even if we stop Seren, that's not going to happen. There's still millions of Geth behind the veil. Until they're gone, our exile will continue.
What would you need to bring back to make everyone happy?
Something that would help us better understand the Geth. They've changed significantly since the exile. They've continued to evolve. We've done our best to study them, but it's not easy. They're very reclusive. Until recently, they never went beyond the borders of the Veil. And all the Geth we run into now are under Seren's control. We'd need to find Geth operating on their own, independently. But I don't want this to get in the way of our mission, Shepard. First, we stop Seren. Then I'll worry about my own problems.
What was your father like?
It wasn't easy growing up as the daughter of one of the Admiralty. Even before he joined the board, he was a prominent figure. People looked to him for leadership. He had to set an example, and he expected the same of his daughter. Plus, he was pretty strict, a military man through and through. He never allowed me to settle for anything less than excellence. As a kid, I sometimes felt like he was pushing me too hard. But now I'm old enough to appreciate what he taught me. The world doesn't owe us anything. If we want something in life, we have to earn it.
Where was your mother in all this?
Mother was around, but she always seemed to kind of blend into the background. Almost like she was overshadowed by my father. He tends to do that to people. She passed on about 5 years ago. Some airborne virus that swept through the fleet. Happens sometimes when the filters start to break down. I think my father took it pretty hard. After she was gone, he became even more focused on his work. I think that was his way of dealing with the grief.
Sounds like a tough upbringing. You don't resent your father at all?
Like I said, it wasn't easy. My father's not the kind of person you bond with. And he wasn't around all that much. Too busy. People counted on him, and he took his duties seriously. Even when he was around, he always seemed a bit distant. Like his mind was always somewhere else. Come to think of it, I can't ever remember seeing him smile. Not once.
It's like he was always weighed
Tak
down
přes
by
tu
all
masku
that
bys ho mohla stejně
responsibility.
vidět. Stejně
I
bys
mean, I
neviděla,
know
jestli
he
se
cares
směje
about
nebo ne.
me, but he never really showed it. Not in the usual way. I guess the best thing I can say about my father is that I respect him.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
I should go.
To je vše.
See you later. Hey, Shepard. You need something?
I want to know more about the... Interesting.
Over time, we...
Ale už jsme asi všechno
Many of
slyšeli.
But when they're in... As you can imagine, a general order went out across... We feared the Geth would pursue us. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? I'm sorry, I didn't... See you later.
Tak ještě se vrátíme zpátky na můstek. Spíš to nazývat, jak to nazvat? My to nazývají nějak střediskem. Čehosík. Středisko Čehosík. Oficiální název. Tak jo, tady to uložíme. A prozatím to dnešní stream ukončuju tím, že si vrátím, nevím, za 2 hodinky možná, za 3. Uvidíme. A budeme pokračovat s Mass Effectem. Takže. Díky za sledování, i když se nikdo nedíval. A vrátíme se za pár hodin. Tak čau.